Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on this call. My name is Yasmin Razak from RelyLocal.com, and as part of our series interviewing local business owners in the Bowie, Maryland area, I would like to introduce an insurance agent. Her name is Jamie Wilson, and she's here to tell us a little bit about the services she offers and how she could help you with your insurance needs. Thanks for joining us, Jamie.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Jamie, I know you're a very busy woman. You're also a real estate agent, and you offer insurance services. So today we want to find out about that side of your business. What kind of insurance do you offer?
I actually offer auto, homeowners, and life insurance.
Okay, great. So you do the three main areas that we all need insurance for. So you must be very busy.
I am very busy, but it's very exciting what I do, being able to protect my clients on the real estate side as well as on the insurance side.
Okay. And obviously you've been doing this for a while, so I'm sure you've seen people in all sorts of predicaments who perhaps don't have insurance or don't have the right kind. What kinds of tips do you give to people as to why it's so important to get the right information?
Well, of course, a lot of people that I speak with, they don't understand what their coverages are and how the coverages work and what the limits are. So it's very important to me to be education-based and really go into detail about what their limits are. Sometimes I'll say, what's your current limits of liability? And I'll get either silence or I'll get, what exactly is that? Because what we're trying to do is compare apples to apples as it relates to what you currently have. So it's important to me to really break down the different coverages, whether I'm discussing auto insurance or whether I'm discussing homeowners insurance or whether I'm discussing life insurance, and really understanding what the best fit is for your situation, because everyone's situation is different.
Absolutely. Now, the way you work is that you work with a brokerage that will actually that actually works with different insurance companies. Is that correct?
Yes, we have 9 different companies that we can quote for. In the past, I worked for a company that will remain nameless, but it was one individual company, and I was basically an exclusive agent for them, and I could really only sell their products. So as I'm discussing the products and quoting the pricing, if it was not a good fit, well, then that was the only option that I had. But working with the brokerage, excuse me, where you have 9 different companies, you know, I can shop for you and I can look at different options and different price points and try to really get you the best rate.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, like you said, you mentioned earlier, you know, a lot of people perhaps don't realize just how important it is to have the right coverage of your insurance. And you do hear horror stories of things happening, you know, people's houses, you know, things happening in their homes. And, you know, like you said, with obviously with your auto insurance, you've got to be so careful. And of course, with your life as well. I personally have always been pretty paranoid about insurance. I've always wanted to have plenty of it, you know. But I know a lot of people perhaps don't realize the importance of having the right kind of coverage. Do you see people make certain mistakes and try to advise them? I mean, what sorts of things do you come across that really don't need to be happening because people just need the right information?
Well, sometimes you are able to provide the right information, and you're absolutely right. It's something sometimes that people don't want to talk about, but what I always say is, if you talk about it periodically, maybe at least once a year or every other year as it relates to your life insurance, then you don't have to really think about it as often, but you want to make sure that you're covered. You want to make sure that you're covered in the event of a catastrophic situation. And of course, I've come across people where I have sat down with them and I've discussed coverages, and I've discussed, you know, things that they should have in place. And then, you know, for whatever reason, it could be budgeting. A lot of times it's just that they just don't want to discuss it any further, and they don't go with the coverages that they really should have in place. And then, of course, there is a catastrophic situation and they don't have the coverage and the financial, you know, that piece that will come into play with having that coverage that's really necessary and needed during a catastrophic time. And so it's really, really unfortunate because I do spend a lot of time just really trying to present options and coverages that's best for you, because everyone's situation is different. And it's really disheartening and sad when, of course, I come across someone who doesn't have the right coverages in place. I mean, it's as much as maybe a 30-minute, conversation, 30-minute to an hour conversation, and then we're done, just to make sure that you have all of the necessary coverages in place to really protect your family. That's the whole primary focus. That's what the focus really should be, is about protection. Of course, none of us can foresee or predict what's going to happen, but what you do want to try to guarantee is that you have something in place, you have coverages in place that can really speak to those difficult times.
Right, absolutely. Like you said, it's something that you want to do, periodically as things change in your life. But then, you just want to go on and live your life. So at least if you've done it properly, you've got the right coverage. If anything should happen, then you know that you are covered, and that's one less thing to worry about. So how can people get the information? I know you have a website and a phone number and stuff. How can they get in touch with you?
They can reach me at 301-341-7900, and they can ask for Jamie. And they can, of course, mention that they heard, found me through Rely Local. And then I'll sit down with them and just do, a review and an assessment of what their current situation is and the products that they really should have in place. Of course, being a mom and, really I can relate to really just protecting my family. And so as I'm dealing with families, it's just really, really important to me. I'm thinking of my own family and what would happen if I didn't have coverage in place. And so as I'm speaking with people, it's really my goal to have coverages for them that, I would have in place for myself. They can also reach me through going to www.coverageforyourlife.com.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much, Jamie. So if you are listening to this and you know that you either haven't reviewed your insurance coverage for a while, or you need to take on your insurance, maybe you've had a baby, you're moving, your teenager wants to suddenly drive, or whatever it is, changes in your life, you do need to address your insurance needs, and Jamie can help you with that. She's a great person. She's very knowledgeable. She really stresses the importance of educating her clients, so you can make the best decision. So you know how to get in touch with Jamie. I suggest you do so. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jamie.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.